Hello, I am Lincoln. You know, it's really interesting how Animal Crossing is one of the big system sellers for the Switch, especially seeing as Animal Crossing has always been a series that hasn't been really popular, and even some people who played some of the earlier games specifically avoided playing some of the newer ones just because they didn't like the flow of it. But Animal Crossing New Horizons, this one got really popular. And it's very easy to see why. And so today, I'd like to take a look back and talk about it a little bit. Animal Crossing New Horizons is already a pretty interesting Animal Crossing game. Rather than just moving into an already existing town to take control over it, you make an entirely new town on a deserted island, which is really cool. It also allows for outdoor customization, which has never been a feature in the games previously. The game does do some pretty cool things. For example, it takes the Happy Home Designer's indoor customization and adds that to your house in the game, which is so much better than just having to drop things and push them into place. And it actually gives you a convenient editor to use. The island you show up on has a few variables. For example, your trees will only ever grow one fruit. It could be pears, it could be cherries, it could be oranges. I personally got a pear island. The fruit that your trees grow will be really useful because you can take them to other people's islands and sell them for a large profit. And also, your airport, which is replacing the train station in this game, has a custom color on it. That color will determine the base modification version of several items you get from the Nook Shopping Network. It's always stuff like, if your airport is blue, your Godzilla statue will look like this. Or if your airport is yellow, your Godzilla statue will look like this. You can technically get any Godzilla statue that you'd like if you customize it with a crafting bench. However, the default will always be determined by the color of your airport. I find that a very underrated part of this game is the vast costume variety. And the fact that you can use the wand to create your own costumes and make it so that you can wear them and change out of them in any moment is really useful, so that you can have a dedicated suit for summertime, a dedicated suit for wintertime, a dedicated suit with fake abs, a dedicated suit for when you're a cultist, a dedicated suit for when you're a ninja. Yeah, this is really cool. On your island, you can get a variety of locations, such as the store, the tailor shop, the museum, which is absolutely massive and has so much stuff in it, a campsite, which I haven't used since I got it installed there, and the residence building, which is where Tom Nook and Isabelle hang out, and you can go to Tom Nook to get anything you want installed into your island, and you can go to Isabelle to give your villagers therapy. Marshall needs to be reformed. Depending on the day of the week, different merchants will visit your island. A guy who's obsessed with bug catching, a guy who's obsessed with fishing, a camel who sells carpets, a clown who wants to buy weeds from you, and lastly, Red the criminal. Past the 2.0 update, you can find all these people and more at Harv's Island. Harv's Island is a location where you have a selection of all of the items you've gotten so far, and you can take photos inside of a house with them by taking villagers, other players, or stuff into the house and taking photos. It's a good place for designing sets for whatever you need to do. There is one more merchant, and that is the turnip saleswoman. She shows up at the beginning of Sunday every single week. You can buy turnips from her from a randomized price, and then throughout the rest of the week, Nook's Cranny will accept you to sell them to them. The price of the money you get back will always be randomized as well, so it essentially creates a stock market that leaves people going to other islands to get better turnip prices. I, of course, never needed this, seeing as I have my way of getting my own things without money, although it is a little unethical, but I'll touch on it later. At the start of the game, you're given a phone, which has a variety of apps on it. There's the camera, which can take photos, obviously. The Nook Miles service, which is basically achievements in the game that give you this other currency called Nook Miles that you can also use to buy furniture. The Critterpedia, which is used to find out which museum creatures you've collected. DIY recipes, which is how you can craft objects in this game. Island Designer, which gives you terraforming controls that you could never have in the previous games. that allow you to change the shape of the island to your own liking. Custom designs which can allow you to draw things and create your own clothing. A map. A passport which tells all the information about you, including a photo, your name, and even a title. I am the omnivorous floaty thing. Best friends list, which basically allows you to text people. Chat log, which allows you to read the previous things that people have said, as well as read your previous text messages. Call Resident, which allows you to do couch co-op multiplayer. The rescue service, where you can pay Nook Miles to get yourself out of a soft lock. And Island Life 101, which just gives you tips for the game. There is apparently a Nook shopping app that you get when you buy 100 things from Nook Shopping, but I could never bother to do that, because it's annoying. You have to go through all the UI, you have to actually pay for the items only appear in mail the next day, and I don't want to wait that long. Besides, why would I ever use Nook Shopping when I have treasure islands? Treasure islands are islands that have items in there that have been hacked so that they can have an infinite number of those items, basically allowing you to go there and take whatever you want. The treasure island hunting process is simple. You go onto twitch.tv and you search up Animal Crossing New Horizons Treasure Island. Then you put in the codes that you'll find on several different Twitch streams, and you head to the islands. Then you just take a ton of stuff and go back. Why would you ever need to buy anything when you can collect basically any item for absolutely free? Well, not entirely. I actually did have to spend bells on some islands, which doesn't make sense to me. You're already hacking the game, just give yourself infinite bells. You fear no god, but you know better than to cheat the IRS. But if you've ever played Animal Crossing Online, you'd see the obvious issue with this. Of course, it's the fact that the online play is the worst. You'd have to get constantly sent back to this loading screen as more visitors visit the island. And so it is really annoying not being able to walk 10 square feet without someone else showing up. You can just be looking around for all the stuff that you might be interested in, and then all of a sudden, it turns out that the well-known stylist Lotta of Malo happens to be visiting right now, so you gotta wait a few minutes. Do you not have the patience for the well-known stylist Lotta of Malo to be visiting? You should be really patient. Do you know who the well-known stylist Lotta of Malo is? No, and to be honest, I do not care. But it is still the best way of getting items in Animal Crossing. Overall, Animal Crossing is a really fun game. Some days you're just doing chores, some days events happen, like different villagers' birthdays. Every little thing about this game makes it really enjoyable. And I'm so happy that so many non-gamers got to experience it too. But why? Well, the answer is simple. The coronavirus. The pandemic was going on at the time, and people thought it would be really fun to play this new game that just came out because it looks pretty relaxing. And that became one of the biggest selling points of the Switch from the years 2020 to 2022. It makes me wonder when the next game's gonna release. Probably when the next big sickness or disease outbreak happens, which I'm predicting is gonna be sometime in 2027. But not to worry, because just as the pandemic started coming to a close, and people started having lives to get back to, they decided that they were going to release the massive 2.0 update. And not only that, but a DLC that expands on the game, basically turning it into a different Animal Crossing game, being a sequel to Happy Home Designer. Okay, I got a lot of stuff to say about this. First with the 2.0 update. While it is cool, they added so much stuff here. And the second year of Animal Crossing New Horizons lifespan was so dead and barely had any updates in it that weren't just copy and paste from last year's events. Why didn't they just slowly introduce all the 2.0 features in their own individual updates that would actually keep up player engagement, not just suddenly adding a ton of stuff and then not updating beyond that? And not to mention, they only did this once player engagement stopped. The point was to keep up player engagement. They definitely failed. Like, oh wow, you can now sidestep? You didn't think to add this like half a year ago? Animal Crossing is one of Nintendo's franchises that works as a live service game, except for the thing is, Nintendo has proven time and time again that they do not know how to run a live service game. Now for the DLC. I don't dislike the DLC nearly as much, but I didn't really play it that much, seeing as people stopped playing Animal Crossing when it released. But the point of the game is to make vacation homes for different villagers. You get paid for each vacation home that you make, and you unlock some new abilities in housemaking. And while sure, this is pretty cool, the only thing I really care about for this is the fact that you can make infinite money off of it. Okay, so you just give people houses that have nothing in them, and everyone will say that they like it because no one actually has opinions in Animal Crossing. Meaning you'll get paid for every house that you make. But sometimes when I'm bored, I do like to do random things. But I never put too much effort into them. Like, I did absolutely nothing to this guy's house but cover the floor in different types of assorted carpet. And of course, it's perfect, and he loves it. What more does he need, honestly? Carpet. 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 Check it out. I'm in the house. Like carpet. 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 Check it out. I'm in the house. I'm in the house like carpet. Check it out. I'm house. I'm house like carpet. House like carpet. Carpet. Oh yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, this DLC is a pretty good addition to the game. I actually like it. Overall, Animal Crossing New Horizons was an amazing Animal Crossing game. And it lasted surprisingly long for a life simulator. Normally with life simulators, it feels like one day everyone wants you to play Disney Dreamlight Valley, and then the next day people want you to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Neither of which sound like good games, but Animal Crossing definitely was. Overall, it's not really my thing, but I played it because all my family was playing it, and I had a lot of fun with it. Maybe I'll get into Stardew Valley one day, but life simulators just aren't really my kind of thing. But I had a lot of fun with Animal Crossing. I really liked it.